Hi, Chris here. I was thinking about my game, and I was thinking a really cool buff would be like Stoner. Like, this is why I want to make my own game too. And no, I'm not that fat. I'm actually huge. I'm like a fucking former champion swimmer, 8-year Army veteran. I'm a lot stronger than I look. But anyway, I just bent steel. Yeah, I just bent a big old reinforced steel manifold and couldn't get the screws off. So I was like, fuck it, and just opened it. Anyway, I closed it again. I pushed it back when I was done. Anyway, yeah, I was thinking about my game and I want to do like I was thinking a cool buff would be Stoner. All right, so Stoner, it's just like ganja, right? And it's minus 70% health, or maybe minus 20% health. Your lungs serve a purpose. Let's be real. But our ancestors smoked 300,000 years ago, so it could be a trait we've won through evolution. Like, if you can smoke, you might just have the gene that, like, self-cleaning lungs or something. Yeah, if your lungs got clogged, you'd get high and you wouldn't be able to get high anymore. But if you can get high again every day, it means your lungs aren't clogged. Now, if your lungs get clogged, you can. There's people who live to their hundreds. I just, live your own life. This wasn't about smoking. I didn't want to make it about. But anyway, ganja. I was thinking like it'd be so much fun to design a game because like minus 20% health, minus 30% move speed, but I do like plus 70% damage. So who gets high really could help you out. And maybe even do like a reefer thing, like put like red eyes and like a little joint cloud. They move really slow. And then like I thought too with like the reefer cloud buff is if you have reefer cloud on you, then there's like a 1% chance per attack to suddenly accelerate your attack speed like 1,000%. Stoners will get it. Yeah. But that's it. Yeah, plus 70% attack. That's a lot. It's a lot. Minus 30% health, minus 30% move speed. Yeah, you kind of fucking just messed up. But yeah, it just has a chance that you could get into a flow state where everyone's like, "Whoa, it's the fastest thing they've ever seen," and it's like perfect, right? So yeah, it'd be awesome. 1,000% attack speed. Yeah, I want the characters. There's a lot of people do like they do a status thing, like they can only be in a certain state. I'm glad that I'm smart enough that I am. I can see how people take like all these male programmers are all show offs. They're like they look at me and what I do and they just go like, "Oh, I bet it's gonna no, I'm gonna fly with them. I'm gonna make a great game." And I'm not gonna do it the way they do it because they do like states. You want the character to do only one thing at a time. No, you don't. You want them to be able to move and attack at the same time. Easy. Play this and this, right? Figure out how to do it. Yeah, I want them to be able to move and to swing at the same time. So I might choose an art style like no hands, because one thing I know for certain is I'm not going to be redrawing the same sprite again and again. I would rather have something that like 2 or 3 per subject, 3 tops. One is better. Like you want a counterattack, you don't need the pre-counterattack to the counter. You can just all of a sudden do that, right? Just play that, then play that. Yeah, I was thinking about Fire Guy. Fire Guy needs to have like he's got a 22% chance every time he attacks to attack again. That second attack also has the 22% chance. So, it's like if you do it, you get 122% chance on attack, you'll attack again, right? I want to give him counterattack too, and to have the counterattack have a chance to proc it as well. So, and he gets faster the more he goes, and he has a cleave. So Fire Guy is basically like, he's really good. Yeah, but when he gets 122% chance goes off, when that one gets the 22% chance and you get a double attack, right? Then you shoot a fire wave, then a bigger fire wave. It decided like level 4 or 5 should be he like spins around and swings out a gigantic like chakra like fire hammer and goes down. I don't want to do lift, but I thought it'd be really funny if you like staple the character head on the ball, and so if the ball gets lifted in 3D physics, then maybe the character could spin with the ball. I thought that would be really funny that they were obviously paper and they spun and they were just flat as they fell. I thought that would be like, yeah, to kind of play with that. But yeah, how to do different physics. I definitely don't want to reanimate anything. Anything I can like, any corner I can cut and call it stylized is better because it's a solo development. But Yeah, what I basically, I mean, it's such an easy beginning because how easy is it if you have your sprites and animations in Unity and you have it to have like an auto spawner go at each other? I mean, it could take a couple weeks tops to make the actual auto spawner. Yeah, if you know what you're doing. A couple weeks tops to make an auto spawner. Yeah. And that's using tutorials to shortcut it, right? Because these guys, I mean, there are a lot of people who fly with code. I need to learn more. As soon as I can learn more, to like, I'm gonna have so many great ideas, like Stoner, right? What if I had the game in front of me and I could open up? Here's a brand new boon, Oid, OIUD, and huge damage bonus. So if you get it on an elementalist, which would be really a good person you'd want baked, right? It'd be amazing because yeah, he shoots slower, but he does way more damage, and he doesn't really get in combat anyway. But if it's on your tank, and then it's terrible because the tank can be like having a cop that's high. You'd be like, what? I didn't. What? Yeah, we need to go do it. No, bro, we got brownies on the way or whatever. Anyway, yeah, Del Taco, they've been hooking me up with free fries every day. I like it. The lady there likes me. She's kind of rom-com cute, but not like whatever. So yeah, I'm liking the block reflect mechanics for the Jorbda to make the Jorbda like laser sword space wizards. And what's cool about it is that there's 7 colors. And so each color is going to be a unique type of Jorbda, you know, and there's going to be star ranking. So like, is star ranking going to always tie into character traits? You know what I mean? Like if my light Jorbda has like extra 3 defense, that means every attack that hits her is -3, right? -3 off the top of it. And so since a good baseline is, let's say, 3311, the person is doing 11 attack power, I've thought about taking health and attack power and making them the same, 1 stat called power. That's how healthy you are and how much damage you do. So a high power person, right, can do their full health bar in damage. It's kind of an interesting... It would definitely change the way the game played, I felt like. But anyway, yeah. You know, yeah, you need big super bosses that are fun to attack. And, you know, I like the idea that he could push you back and he swings and attacks too, you know. That it's not like one animation at a time in a state machine. It's just kind of like, yeah, rigging a bunch of animations playing through a position rig, right? And then all these, you know, they got hitboxes. Even designing my own hitboxes with my strikes is going to be so much fun because I've played so many games. You know, I've always wanted to make a game. And if there's one game I can make that's so great, it's a single map auto spawner. One side goes this way, one side goes this way. They spawn. That's the whole game. That's the whole game. I don't need to do any other map. I don't need to do a zone. I don't need to paint it. Don't need to decide on movement, economy, nothing. Right? There's 7 elements. There's 7 colors. It's the same thing. It just looks different. Right? And I want them to be physics-based, so I want them to bounce. There's going to be things I'm going to work on. Is one of the key features of the game that I know is the essences are physics-based. They splash out of big crits. Or when your characters die. Like, I want there to be a giant monster that comes. You don't know when he does, but he can. He can spawn, and usually what the character sees is smash, and their favorite character explodes into their essence, but they're dead. Smash, smash, smash. And the boss collects all the essence, and you see the essence go back, and then he just, like, stomps on through. As you lost, you got Thugathor. Thugathor has a 2% chance per enemy spawn to spawn, but when he does, you just game over. Unless you're ready for Thugathor. Maybe give like one character like Dark Woman like a little story between her and Thugathor, and she has a buff where she can subdue him and make him impossible to beat, right? Where it's like maybe for 200 dark, 50 fire. See, that's the other thing too, is for the economy of the abilities. I kind of want to tell a little bit of the story of the ability with the elements and the element compositions, right? Like if you have a water character that has a fire power, right? There's 15 characters, and so every character should have one relationship ability with other characters. And I'm kind of trying to determine what those are. But yeah, the Transcendental, it's interesting. The only Transcendental character I have, the only 7XR, you know, the 8th, is it's a girl with she's on rollerblades and she shoots a bouncing laser. And the bouncing laser is interesting. It always, I mean, I guess it'll always do 2 true damage per level on bounce. And then once it hits, it does 20 true damage per level. So yeah, it's a wave clear. It's amazing. And her trick is if 2 of her bounces detonate at the same time, she shoots like a piercing bolt, like, something, right? So some of her traits that I want her is that she shoots for a while and then she repositions. She's like, yeah, she can like shoot and move, right? Oh yeah, she can shoot and move. And she'll spawn with you every time you spawn, so you can get like, you can really like wave clear. But that's gonna be a premium character, right? That's marked as that. It's like $24. You want that character, you can win the game. Will it be that bad? No, of course I'll balance it. I'll be like, every winning player just uses 7 copies of her, at whatever level they can get out, right? Start a new account. Don't unlock any character but her. Bench your first 6 characters and get her every time, and then you just like, because yeah, if she can move back, if she moves back when they come close, that's a really useful rollerblade character. But yeah, I decided I want the blue bouncing laser. She's got to do that. It's got to look quick. It's got to look funny, and it's got to be like, make it premium. I don't know, maybe I'll be a jerk and be like $89. Premium character. But yeah. Matchmaking, yeah, it's just auto spawner. It'd be squad versus squad. Tower versus tower, boon versus boon. Player versus environment, it's like a treadmill. The game, I don't want this like, alright, introduction, loading screen, alright, you're 6 guys versus there's 6 guys, go. Right? That sucks. That's a game with 0 inspiration. My game has a lot of inspiration because it's the feeling of the Left 4 Dead. When you're in a hallway in Left 4 Dead and they're coming at you like this massive pile of zombies, and you just, and they're all dying, but they're still coming, and there's force to it. Like you're like afraid, right? Holy shit, right? I want that with this game. I want the level of AI spawns from the enemy to be so significant that this like fire guy's like, I don't have the room to do how I want to do the animation, but he's like just cooking it and getting faster and faster, and it still looks like more and more are coming, just like the commercials where they're like, do this game. Yeah, all the games are from China. You notice that? There's like very few American game manufacturers. Ever since we like basically fucking destroyed BioWare, people criticized BioWare to death. They did. They killed BioWare with death. They just criticized it. Yeah, anyway. Yeah. I feel sad about that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I liked your games a lot, and I probably didn't need to go on there and say I fucking hate you over and over like I did. So. But anyway. Sorry, guys. Like my game, though. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I mean, in my spawn zones, there's gonna be you got the 7 up front, and in the back, there's gonna be your ranged boons, and the side's gonna be your melee tank boons that are gonna be with your squad. So the squad is still, because it's like, all squaddies, all the 15 main characters that you use to populate your squad, and they cover a water tank, a fire DPS, melee DPS with a counterattack. Yeah, he's got a counterattack, and his trait is every time he hits something, he has a chance to attack again. And I don't know if he's gonna have cleave, because that's a lot of cleave damage. That's like you could use just fire guy in your front line. You don't even need a water tank, right? And you just chop it up. And for some reason, I don't want to do taunt. Because taunt, to me, unless it's easy to do taunt, because like water guy, his thing is blocking, is I want him to have fire guy's only going to have 5 levels of fire that he can get for a double attack, for getting lucky. You know how easy it is to get 5 22 chance rolls in a row. Well, if you're seeing the roll constantly, yeah, it's going to seem like it happens once every few minutes, right? You get to level 5. That one only got to level 3, right? Right? Yeah, level 4 is gonna be, he like swings back out a giant hammer and then it comes down, and I want it to lift everything, right? So that's gonna be like 2 fire waves that pass over. They do no impact, but they just set everything on fire, and then he's gonna splash. And the way I'm going to recover from that is just by really working on the flooding mechanics of, you want him to have a lot to chop. And the Elementalist, what's cool about him is he gets a little, I'm going to design all their distances so that they stack well, and kind of think about like where you want different characters to be. But yeah, I don't like grids. I don't like tight matchups. Like the way people program them, it really is like, programming is such an art. I've looked at a lot of people who code. They all code different. They all have a different structure for how they do things. They always go, oh, because you want it. No, you don't want it. It's, this is my game. Maybe I'm leaving this in case like there was a disaster and I'm not alive anymore. Make my game. Give it to an AI. Be like, hey AI, we want the bridge battle or RNGKIng. I might reincarnate for it and then I get to play it. Haha. But anyway. Yeah. Look like Chewbacca kind of. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be an awesome fucking game because it's going to... Oh my god. Yeah, block guy is cool. A big old water shield. He gets like some impulse back on a block, right? And it's like if he blocks twice, he gets a 10% overshield. So I want to put him when he's water overshielded. It's like a bubble. It's actually, you see a bubble on him. And, I mean, it'd be like water wall would work like sand, right? Especially if you could harden water or make water just like for some reason it doesn't give in, right? He could be like, yeah, right? Water that doesn't want to let you through it would be an incredibly good tank, especially if he can split himself. So his two abilities are water shield. He puts an overshield based on his max health on himself with consecutive blocks. So he has to get 2 blocks in a row to get 10%. 3 blocks to get 25 or whatever it is. At one point, it'll shoot out an AoE taunt. So, but some of the thing, yeah, maybe I'll make it so that you can adjust block chance. But I want to keep it at 3322, and then the healer lady, his basically his wife, they have a daughter who shoots light arrows. That's one of the traits I want in this, right? Okay, so there's fire, earth, water, heart, air, dark, and light. And one of the traits of light I want, even though light isn't 7XR, it takes every single one of all of them to make one 7XR, which is the premium currency. So you can earn premium currency by earning essences. Yep, you just have to earn one of each to make one. And it might seem a little steep, but buying any will give you a ton of essence because you buy a 1,000 R. You want to convert that into colored essences? That's 1,000 each. That's every single character you have just got a sizable upgrade just for 1,000 R. Now boons are where it's going to be too, because I want 100 R for one boon rolled, right? Maybe if you get the same of the same boon, you get 10 R back, right? So yeah, you'd use 100 R for one boon roll, and then over 50% chance is common. So your commons and rares, right? I'm going to populate those with a lot of fun stuff that'll give you everything you need. And then your rare ones are going to be like all the way up to 0.001%. Like your 0.001% Sublime Rune will be like both characters win the game and get 1,000 R and do like, do an animation for it or something like that. You'd be like, dang, we both won. You never see that, right? They never do that. One player, if it's a draw, both players lose. They're like, no, it has to be hard. You have to fight up a hill, right? That's how they design these things, and that shows in their programming and the gameplay. They're not free liberated consciousness like I am. I'm a fucking magician, you know what I mean? I'm going to make the best game of all time. Yeah, it's going to have hidden stuff, levers, like doors you didn't know where doors were open, and then suddenly something walks out. Not all of it's good or bad, not all of it's fighting. Some of it's just going to be pure, just like, flavor. Yeah. But, yeah, I want the bridge battler, and it'll have, like, probably close to the castle and tower. There'll be, like, areas that are blocked in, but I want areas that aren't blocked in, If there's a big enough force, it should knock you off the edge, and then that's where I want to put it in, like, Shiva money. I call them middle divinities, so it's going to be Shiva. Maybe there'll be Jesus. Like, I could put Jesus on a cross and have both players attack him to rack of damage. Increase the suffering, they're just moaning at the Father. Oh! It's like once you're done, yeah, that's it, right? You get more essence per level, but Jesus doesn't trigger all the time, right? So you're like, this is a PvP. Well, right in the middle, minute 3, Jesus came out, and you guys are in the middle fighting, and so now Jesus is running. And you want to hit Jesus because the more damage you do to Jesus while he's out, he just like recovers and go, I love you all, the Father, and he says, Like this light as this falls out. How hard would that to be? Easy. If you know how to spawn and rig an animation and draw some shit, I could make that in an afternoon. Yeah. Me learning to draw was the game changer. That's when my life changed. Oh yeah. It's different. It's different. Me learning to program, having a game on a market, that's gonna be good. Getting some of that income. Yeah, I mean, I've been saying it for years. I could, if I had money, I'd have a girl, I'd have a wife tomorrow. You know, there's plenty of awesome, cute single women that liked me in my life. But you gotta. Ugh, so much gasoline today. I didn't have a shower. I emptied 2 bottles of water on me, and I used every single baby wipe I have. I don't have any soap, so I am still kind of gasoline-y, but I'll be alright. I've been through worse. So, still make it. Hey, Hardy, that's what we need for the future. Like, if a little bit of a chemical can break you, it was nice knowing you, but you're no longer fit for this planet. You need to be immune to plastics. The sooner people can digest plastics and are like chemically immune, that's your future people. If you get fucking breaking out for breathing a cloud, you know, you're not really fucking worth it. It's just, what are we gonna do? Become a suit species just so you can be dragged along? Nah, you gotta be able to get muddy and fucking fight and win and do all that stuff. Life is activity only. There's no sitting still. Anyway, yeah. I have been thinking about my game. I love the Jorbda. Can you imagine that? Like, you just like, it's a normal fantasy. It's kind of like, I'm not sure, until it's drawn, it's not drawn. It's kind of fantasy high tech, you know. And I like the idea of flash animations, right? I've played with the idea of like, they're like blobs and then you just like wave around their thing and you build like them a stick and they just like go like that with it. I've played with that idea, but no, I think I'm gonna 2D draw it. Make it look good. Yeah. Make it look right. But yeah, I was excited about the Dark Woman because at first I was thinking like Kerrigan. Her traits are vampirism. She does AoE. She gives everyone AoE vamp at 10 or 20% because you got to think if more of her come out, you don't want her vamp to get too excessive. But let's say there's 6 of her and you have 120% vamp for her vampirism, where every attack is healing you for 120% of its damage. What sort of monster would you have to come up against to basically with a monster that has scaling health and damage? Any monster could beat that, right? Because if every 10 seconds all the enemies get 25% stronger, right? Make it like, yeah, that'd be a great one, right? It's like a tide pool, right? It'd be like every 10 seconds there's a 90% chance every enemy gets 25% stronger, right? And so your goal is to get a couple 10% chance rolls in a row and eke by close enough to the castle that you win just in time, right? If you lose every roll, you lose 10 rolls in a row, you might try to win, but it's gonna get hot. Blew my shirt off. So much gasoline today. Oh my god, all over me. No shower, up on a hill. I had water, no soap though. I've gone through like 2 gallons just soaked. Still smell it. Oh well. Hey body, thanks God for taking care of me. But yeah, I'm so excited about my game. It's really real. RNGKING, yeah. I knew how like cool and interesting random events were, so I wanted to cook it in. And I think like just having a solid squad auto spawner as the basis, you only need 15 characters and they're all related. And yeah. There's gonna be elemental stuff, but right now, I mean, I'd be happy with no ice or freeze whatsoever. Maybe make ice damage that can't be blocked or something like that. Ice damage penetrates defense or something. I don't know. Some high defense enemies. Yeah, there's gonna be zombie hoarders. I want buffers, right? I want spell stealers, so I want interesting buffs. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there should be an enemy spell stealer. Oh, that'd be cool, right? How about there's like Ooh, because I haven't thought about how the enemy spawns at all. I really haven't. So how about there's 7 colors, right? For each, or maybe there's 7 slots like in a row, right? Yours is organized in squad. The enemy's side is just like maybe like keys of a keyboard, right? What I was thinking is that what's random is you can see the enemy slot is every time in a spawn wave, all the colors of the keyboard are randomized, and depending on the color, that's the type of monster that comes out of it. So yeah, and make it for each color there's a pool of different monsters that can come, right? But you would want to do that, especially if you're like, let's say easy mode is 10 seconds 10 seconds, but like the max hard mode is like 10 second 1 second. They're pumping out a wave of 7 new monsters every second. That would be interesting to look at, right? But yeah, you definitely want your flutters. You want most of the things your guys attack you can just like slice through instantly. Especially like sword guy, right? But some of them, like, I don't think the bard's gonna do any damage whatsoever, right? But the bard adds attack to every single teammate, including summons. So that's why the bard is really good. Is the bard is an AoE buff on everybody, and whoever's in the bard and all the bard buffs stack. So you get 2 bards out. Well, bards are only doing between 1 and 3 per buff. How do I deal with star levels and bards, right? Yeah, I mean, bard, I might cancel bard, right? I might, because it's a air character slot. I kind of want her to be a female so she can marry fire dude and they can come up. Air and fire together would be like, I'm not sure, very a pyroclastic person, like someone, let's say a magician could actually manifest and control the elements of air and fire. You could seed air into fire and make it super hot. You could also, what would you burn? See, I don't know. Just like you create fire from nothing. He's infinite fuel. Yeah. I could feel my body. My body's like that gasoline. It was like, woof. Not normal. We made a bunch of new chemicals. Hey. Yay, right? Whoop-de-doo. Anyway. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be an awesome fucking game. It's gonna be great. My favorite thing about making it is I get to decide. I get to decide what it does, right? So, yeah. For spawners, yeah, maybe have like a Templar and like, yeah, sure, okay, let's say you get a common one, dog. Like maybe a maybe a common boon you could get is frog. Like there's 7 different colored frogs and maybe make it, they don't do shit. It's like 3 health, 1 damage. But you can watch it. Like, so what would have to happen is that the boon, the game would have to know all the boons that are going out next wave before it does. So it's like at the summoning of the last wave is the lock for what's going to start summoning on the next wave. And then because I want, let's say you get a frog, right? You get a common boon frog, 3 health, 1 damage. You might want. What if he gets another boon, right? What if you put a boon? He could absorb a boon, like a free resurrect. So RNGKING, you gotta be lucky. And if I'll put a magnificent tier of absolutely garbage boons, right? They're terrible, but maybe I'll make them so if you get a double of the boon, they pay out a little extra or something. Or maybe when the frog dies, he drops an essence, so you're not losing it. But yeah. Yeah, I don't want no enemies dropping 20, 30 essences, not unless they're a boss, right? Like Jesus. Yeah, make Jesus a damage boss in the middle. He spawns in the very middle. You don't know when. But when Jesus is there, it's a damage race to get as much out of him as possible. And then he just releases like all these light essences. Light and heart and earth. He just a shower of essences, right? And then he goes, I forgive you. It goes on into the cloud. No, the Bible's about circumcision, which is male genital mutilation. That's what it's really about. So we don't do the Bible. I make fun of it, but it's not really a funny subject. It's kind of terrible. But anyway, Oh yeah, look at this. Woo! Oh yeah. So yeah, and then I want battle droids that shoot lasers, like right? And then I want yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yep. Oh yeah, Dark Lady. She shoots a hailstorm of constant red lasers. I decided she should just have like a forward spray of just like constant red bolts, like Dragon Ball Z, like all impactful. But they're only gonna do a percentage of damage. But where they get really good is every bolt she fires adds to your maximum crit damage of your next crit. And so she will just keep shooting and she'll keep adding crit damage, and it'll go up with star levels. So you won't, even though she has like a 30% chance to crit next time, she's still going to be pumping out a lot of extra crit damage per shot. Anyway, once she finally crits, the extra crit damage she had when she critted becomes everyone else's next crit damage. So she's like super useful. She adds a layer of vampirism, and she adds a layer of she puts out a lot. It's, as of right now, it's the most plus crit damage I've designed in the game. Is that a starting 1-star main character only has 7 crit damage, 7%. And so to have like plus 40 or plus 50 on your next crit is a really huge amount of damage. Like it matters. It does. It's gonna stack up. And maybe if I always do it where health is like 3 times attack damage, you know, health might start getting bloated, but I'll figure out how to cut down on that. Either bigger AoE damage or more payoffs for DPS, you know, like more big slays. And you should be able to get overwhelmed, right? The game should be able to push around if you're not holding it. And how's it going to look when you have 2 water shield guys together, or 4, or 6, or 8? Can you push that many together and move into the end? How many sprites can a fucking phone hold? Hundreds, thousands? You know, I've seen people change how, like, dot, they call it a dot. Yeah, there's like different types of programming tags, and people are all dumb. Like the dudes who teach it, there's so many dudes who teach their way. Yeah, that works for them, but it's not the ultimate or the only way to do that exact thing. You know, and that's where they like don't reveal that. They're like, you can do it anyway. Programming's about you and how you think and how you want to do it, I think. There's not always just one way to do it. Anyway, yeah, I want to have something that can handle, right? If it's a squad auto spawner, basically what I'm saying is I have to be able, maybe there's a respawn every 10 seconds. No, I want it to be a new squad. So yeah, I want it to be a new squad every 10 seconds. So you get a stack. A gigantic stack, yeah, right? So imagine that every 10 seconds you're checking every boon and you're spawning a new copy of your squad. I'm basically going to need to be doing research into engines that can do 2D, thousands of objects moving at once with their own physics. Because, yeah, it may not get to thousands, it may get to several hundred. I think several hundred would be normal. Because I could design some, like, kill mechanics, right? Like, if he's getting a little too stuffed, you can, like, overwhelm him, like, maybe, like, summon a mega laser, just nuke his front line, right? Nuke his front line and collect it. It'd be like this push point, alright? He's balled up, he's pushing and moving. Do you let him win, or do you nuke him? Like, right? Because that'd be funny, right? They have all these characters, you nuke them, and then what happens is, since they all have essences, they all release essences, right? And so it'd be like, you know, maybe the healer releases 1 heart and 1 light every time. The water guy releases 1 water every time. The fire guy releases 1 fire every time, right? The elementalist, maybe he releases a random one from any school, including R, right? Dark woman, always dark in heart. Maybe dark or heart. Elementalist. Maybe he can drop, maybe he always drops a lot of elements. Maybe he drops one of each element, and that's known that he does that. Or maybe he just drops one R, right? He drops R when he dies. So you can get some premium currency from a spot. Hey, our line just got nuked. We had a super stack. I think that is how I want to do it. I just want to nuke their front line. Yeah, why not? Okay, sudden 1,500% damage on everybody in an AoE. Boom. And all your essences fly off. Some fly off the bridge. They get collected by Shiva. They get distributed to you in some later event. And then some other essences, like, get collected by the enemy. You know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of cataclysmic. But now your new squad's going, right? And so does that squad win? Well, the answer with the new squad while your fire guy's attacking is, did the fire guy did he get 0 double attacks in a row, or did he get 5 double attacks in a row? If he got 5 double attacks in a row, your wave clear is going to look way different than if he got none. And so that's why it's called RNG King. It is like the random roll of it is going to get addicting. And I haven't seen too many people capitalize on that feeling of luck, right? Because who wouldn't want to play? You have the Sublime Boon that has a chance to give you 1,000 R. You only have it at 1% because you've only found it once. But you're going to get 1,000 R if it goes off. I could play every round every 10 seconds, 1% chance. It wouldn't happen. It would happen a lot. You just want to ruin the game. You can't even finish it. Nah. Yeah. So now you just got 1,000 R, so every single time it happens, you get 10 boon rolls, right? That's an awesome trait. Maybe I'll look at player profiles and like mail them a boon. But yeah, I want 777 boons. Each and every one of them get checked every single time a squad spawns. The dolphins. My beard is different. My whole body feels different after the fucking gasoline. This shit. My liver's like, what the fuck? Anyway. Yeah, it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good game. Yeah, maybe I want like a Samus Aran character. Like the boons are where you can have some characters. Oh yeah, I thought about this. Like a boon, alright? She's like a little orange fox, right? Like some creature, right? She spawns, she runs forward. The only thing she does is she looks for an overshield. And if the first overshield she sees, she leaps toward, attaches, and quadruples an overshield. That's an amazing bit of spice in a game. That's like, ooh, I got her. Oh, she's running up nice. Or it's like, oh, dang. Or it's like, hey, you know what? What's cool about it is there's going to be two characters. There's going to be a character that adds to the castle and a character that adds to the tower. I think it turned around. And the castle, the character that adds to the tower. Let's say she meets the tower. The tower just had a plus 100% overshield. So the tower health is normally pretty tanky. Now this person's tower has plus 100% overshield. And then, oh yeah. And then she's going to quadruple that. So yeah, normal tower, 1,300 health. Now this tower is like 7,000 health. Right? What happened? Well, you got a couple of lucky boons. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's going to be a grid of boons like, you know, level 1 plus 1, you know, level 1 plus 1%, because plus 1% is not, the reason like it's so good is that my character stats start really low. 3311, 137, 21.7, maybe 0.12, and then like all these other things, right? And then like down to nothing basically. And so to get a plus 1 on a frog is really good, because now if that frog gets one hit off, he did 2 damage, right? But to get a plus 1% is garbage. So it will be like plus 1 and plus 1% are kind of equal, because anything over 100, the plus percent's better. Anything under 100, the plus raw value's better. And so having both is going to be interesting. And again, it's RNG King. if you get a really lucky roll, if you have like an Archangel Blessing go off on your next fire guy and an attack damage boost all at the same time, now he's attacking fast, has more health, and all this stuff does more damage. Whoa. But you're not getting it every time because, again, it's like, yeah, you might get 20 boons every time. Most of those are going to be buffs. Some of those will be characters. It'll be a menagerie. It's going to be fun to collect the boon and then finally see it come out and be like, cool, that's that character, right? Like, I want to get like I'm going to be able to do all my favorite characters. Like, I could make a Samus character, right? She comes out, all she does is shoots a shot. And maybe she continues to charge it for like, maybe she comes out and star level normal, so 21 health per star. So at a 7 star, she would be however many, like 200 something health. And then she's got like, she's charging up this fucking ball. Maybe make it shoot so she does one giant charge shot. She dies, but she does a charge shot for 10 seconds and then shoots it. And then whatever it hits, that thing just gets like, right? And that'd be really cool, right? Like 4 essences could fly off, like air or something like that. Like, yeah. Different colored Samuses shoot different essences, right? And the essences, all the essences you get physically manifest and are collected. You know what I mean? It's a light show. You get the light show of it. The light show aspect is like so key, right? And so glow effects, I've looked into how to do glow effects. They're really fun. Yeah, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game, like one of the best of all time. And yeah, so excited of the block return of the Jedi. How to return a projectile. This should be able to block melee attacks and return projectiles. There's Jorabda, but they all have minus 90% health. So if you do get a hit, yeah, they'll block 90% of the time, but if you get a hit, you'll probably kill it first shot. Or close, which would be just like the movies, right? Jedi get wounded. Get a heal off. Yeah, I've decided to make it so that overshields will happen on like AoE healing, but no healer will target a character for a heal once it's at max. But yeah, my game is gonna have I guess I'll talk about